Restart that. Battery still good.
Well, make sure that still looks good. Hey guys, I'm Stephanie.
And I'm Marco.
And today we're starting a series on study abroad because Marco and I studied abroad in Berlin, Germany last semester, spring of 2016.
So today we're going to make a video of 10 reasons why we think that you should study abroad.
So reason number one why we think that you should study abroad is because college is really the only time in your life that you can put life on hold and go and do whatever it is that you want to do.
Yeah, really, you can do whatever you want. You don't have any worries back home, you don't have a job to worry about, you can just go over, learn, and have an amazing experience.
You don't realize how easy you have it in college. Like, yeah, college is hard and classes are hard and it sucks, but there's never going to be another time in your life where you can be more selfish in a way. It's your time to go do whatever you want to do. If you want to explore, study what you want to or whatever before you get out in the real world where you have more responsibilities and a job and you'll get married and have a family, and take this time to do what you want to do.
The second reason why we think that you should study abroad is it's a great way to embrace a new culture. My mom's German, but I grew up in the US and I visited family tons of times over in Germany, but that's still a completely different experience from actually living there and being there day to day and really seeing what goes on in the neighborhood, seeing how the seasons change from the winter to the summer and just everything that goes on. It's incredible.
So I am not German and I've never visited Germany before. I've never been to Europe. I have been out of the country, but not to Europe. Being able to live somewhere and not be there for a week or two was definitely an interesting change. You'll definitely go through some culture shock, but within a couple weeks, you'll be perfectly fine. It'll feel like home. So our third reason why you should study abroad is that you can learn a new language. So Marco's grown up speaking German his entire life because his mom is from Germany, while I started taking German lessons in high school. So neither of us are perfect at German by any means. Marco's definitely much better than I am, but we both speak at a pretty advanced level. But it definitely took going and living in the country to see vast improvements. It was crazy to believe how much it improved by living in the country. Everyone I've ever talked to about it, like my German teachers, have always said, if you want to learn the language, go live in the country. And I never believed them, and then I got there, and now I believe them. So that's definitely something that you will gain from the experience. Even if you're not experienced in the language, like if you chose Germany, if you chose to go study in Berlin, if you are someone who's never taken German before or only have a very basic knowledge of it, you can still definitely learn the language there. Whether your university might have courses for it, or even just getting out in public and using the little bits you can, it'll mean the world to the people in the country you're in that you are an American trying to use their language, even if you do struggle.
Being back now, I've forgotten a lot of stuff that I learned while I was there, which kind of sucks. That just means I have to go back.
Don't do that. Don't keep up with your skills when you come back because you'll regret it. Not that we lost everything, definitely not, but like grammar skills and stuff can get pretty embarrassing if you forget that.
Absolutely. So just using it every day and being there, talking to the natives, it's really good.
Definitely don't be afraid to go out and talk and stumble. Don't revert back to using English because you can do that when you get home and live a boring life here. Why not speak another language while you're abroad?
So our fourth reason to study abroad is you're gonna gain new experiences and a new worldview from studying in another country. So studying in the US, we learn a lot about American culture, and we learn a lot about other cultures with an American mindset.
When you study in America, everyone will tell you, I mean, this is how it is, it can be for any country, but when you study in America especially, you get a very American-centric, is that what it's called?
There you go. Yeah.
US-centric view of the world, which can be very biased. I mean, then again, other countries can give a biased view, of course, but it's still important to see it from a different point of view versus what's in our textbooks. It's going to be different from another textbook, and that it doesn't always mean different information. I mean, it can mean additional information, but it doesn't mean that it's different or wrong, but it's from the point of view of another country. So like, especially in Berlin,
Right.
like there's all of that rich history there, and you can actually not only learn about it in class, we took a whole class just on Berlin's history, just about the city itself, and we were able to go visit all of the sites that are left from that, and we went on tours and stuff of just like the different things that you've all learned in history class about Germany. So it's really important that you go in their culture and you enlighten yourself, rather than have all of these judgments. You definitely need to go in with an open mind.
Being in a city whose history you're studying, so being in Berlin, studying Berlin's history, it just has a much, much greater impact on what you're learning. Because you can learn so much stuff in the classroom and you learn it from one point of view, but until you actually see it, until you actually are able to form your own points of view and really learn about the subject in its entirety, you're really not going to have a big worldview.
So reason number 5, you're never going to be able to travel so easily ever in your entire life. Unless you decide to move to Europe. But if you plan on staying in America, you will never travel so easily ever. So you have trains, buses, and then you will never believe how cheap plane tickets are in Europe. As long as you're willing to go with not a fancy airline, and you're willing to deal with really small planes that are not the greatest. They're perfectly safe. You're fine. You're totally fine. But it's just not the most comfortable. If you go with like EasyJet or Ryanair, you can get a plane ticket. I forget where I went, but I got a plane ticket for like 30 euro, which, what is that? What is that, like 40 bucks?
Yeah. Going off number 5, our 6th point is that you get to meet people from all over the world. So our program didn't really have a lot of people that were not Americans. It was all people coming from American universities, but we were living in a German neighborhood. So we could go out to the coffee shop that was right around the corner, or we go to the grocery store or the food stands or whatever and just meet new people, and we could go out to bars and to clubs and meet random people from Germany or from any other countries as well.
Yeah, and you never know who you're gonna meet and what that could turn into, whether they're from America or somewhere around the world. Which brings us to number 7, you can and you will make lifelong friends from studying abroad. There wasn't a single person at our university that did not make a lifelong friend. Whether it was 1 or 10, you're going to make lifelong friends. So coming into the program, Margo and I came from different universities. We didn't know each other before. And we also befriended 2 other really awesome people, Andrew and Jennifer. So the 4 of us already plan on getting together soon whenever we possibly can. They're three of my friends that I know that I'm not going to lose any connection or bond with over time. It's just kind of there. It's really hard to explain the friendships you make, like, because you know how you go somewhere, like you go to some activity you're in, whether it's a sport or you go to camp or whatever it might be, and after it you're like, oh yeah, we'll totally keep in touch, and then you don't keep in touch because that's not how it happens. Well, study abroad, it definitely happens in 100%. We still talk every single day, like even if it's just a group chat on Facebook. Yeah, so that's a connection that you'll make abroad because you're all experiencing this thing together that you can't really share with other others who weren't there with you.
So our 8th point is how to adult, also known as how to be independent, all while being in a different country. When you're living on your own in a whole new country, it really forces you to be completely independent. You can't call on your mom or your dad, brother or sister or whatever for things that are happening there because they're 5,000 miles away, if not more. And it really forces you to make connections with people there, and you have to go grocery shopping on your own, you have to cook your own meals, you have to clean your room. It's all the stuff that you don't really think about.
It's like the simplest of things that you'll suddenly be like, Mom, where are you? Help. It'll be something super weird and like as simple as, hey Mom, what brand of cranberry juice do we drink? Some will be that easy and some will be much more difficult. Like, should I go out this late and drink this much? And who am I going out with? Can I trust these people? So in this experience of learning how to be independent and learning how to adult, you will also learn a lot about yourself, which is point number 9. You always hear people talking about all of these changes that they went through and how study abroad changed them and it changed their life, and you're like, that's a joke. That's not a real thing that happens, and I'm gonna be the same exact person the whole time and when I come back. So as long as you go into the experience with an open mind and you're not closed off to trying anything, you will change. 100%. You will change. And it will be for the better. It'll be more of who you actually are. People choose to see change in this like bad light, like it's this evil thing, but it's actually quite good.
Right.
Change is super important for you to become who you actually are and who you're meant to be, even if it's way different than who you are in the beginning of the program. I changed infinitely from the beginning to the end, and when I came home, everyone could see it. I was a much more confident person. I was much happier. I knew what I wanted in life, and I felt comfortable going for it, rather than worrying about, oh, am I pleasing people while I'm doing this? Or are people gonna judge me poorly? Or are they gonna look at me in a good way because of something? Like, you don't care anymore. You really don't. You're gonna go for what you want to, and it was the best decision I have ever made in my entire life. Without a doubt, the best.
So, since I've been to Germany so many times, I kind of knew what the whole thing was about. I realized that I would change a little bit, but I didn't realize how much I would actually change. Just going off what we said in the beginning, you're gonna be living there. It's not you're not visiting there, you're living there. And
yeah, you're not a tourist.
Right.
You're there as like a resident.
Yeah. You're there as a resident, and that's the big difference. And that's what's really gonna change you and give you the new worldview and allow you to embrace new culture and learn a new language and travel and visit new places and meet new people, make lifelong friends. That's what changes you, and that's what you're gonna learn about yourself. Bringing it to reason number 10, why not? Just go. Just travel. Go study abroad. If you're on the fence about it, just go do it.
It's not going to be something you'll regret.
Right. It's just an amazing experience, whether you learn that you absolutely love it or you learn that it's maybe not the right thing for you. You at least went and you were able to learn that. And
there were both types of people on our program, right, where some of them were like, hey, this is super cool. I want to travel for the rest of my life. And there were some people who were like, yeah, you know, this was a good experience, but I don't think it's for me. The thing that both groups shared in common was nobody regretted it. And all of what Marco just listed, like being able to travel and learn about new culture and living somewhere and learning a new language, trying new foods. When are you ever going to be able to do that at any point in time in your life again? Unless you devote your life to traveling, and not that it can't be done, but being done so easily is not going to happen again.
Absolutely.
You will have different responsibilities. Like we said, you'll have a job, a family, you'll have different priorities in life. So you should really take this time now to be selfish and to go out there and do that. If you have any questions for us, if you want to share with us your own experiences from study abroad, then you can go ahead and leave in the comment section below.
And don't forget to like our video and subscribe to our channel. We're going to be releasing more of these videos and other videos in the future, so don't forget to come back. See you next time.
Bye.